Spaceman, this is a kind of a video response to what you were telling me about the rollers. So you were absolutely right, man. Those rollers wouldn't have fit no how, no way. So here's one of the bigger rollers. And if I put it down straight over it, you can see that it doesn't line up at all. It's way too big. But for everybody else, this is the, let me see if I can, all right, this is the new system. And so this guy will go down over it like this, kind of. Once I put it all together, this guy here will sit down kind of like that, and it will snap together. And then here's the ring, and it will have plenty of play. And then the coils will go in between here. So we have a new coil housing. It'll go in between there. And I'm actually, oops, I shut the video off. I'm going to actually see if I can use the old coils from Old Faithful over here to see if those coils will work with the new system. But this looks freaking awesome. And here's the new stands for it. Okay, and they will go up in there, something like that. But if I take this top piece off again, the ring, this is the ring segment that's going to house the magnets. Here, let me pause this and take it up. All right. So here's the ring component. And as you can see, here's one of the rings, and the magnets will go inside here. So we'll still use the same magnets, and we'll probably do it with 3 magnets in like this, and they'll slide down here. And so I have a gap here. So we'll have 3 magnets here, a spacer, and 3 magnets here. Then this spacer is automatic once I hook it to the ring. And then the ring goes together like this, and then pins will go through these little pinholes to keep the ring straight. Right now it's all cattywamped because once I put it down, oops. Here, let me lower this stupid ass camera. There. Once I lower it into the system, or once I put the pins in there and I get all the magnets in there and I put it in, it will spin freely on these new little rollers. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a beautiful system. Let me see if I could get it together temporarily and put it in its stand. And I'll let you guys see that. Hold tight. So Spaceman, just an FYI, I had to actually bring these guys over to my little, sorry about the camera movement. I had to bring these over to my little belt sander and actually sand the edges here so that the holes would line up. And so, yeah. In fact, I need to take this guy apart right here because I forced those bolts in there. But now the holes line up. I just had to take just an ever so, just a hair off. And that's not from your design. That's just the nature of 3D printing. I print at a very low res because I can't stand waiting for the prints to come out. And I also had to drill out the holes here because of the bearings that I have to go into the housing, because the bearings need to fit on these bolts. Um, and so I just drilled it out. Thank God, even though I print in low res, I printed these in decent density. So when I drilled it out, I don't know if you can see that, there's no hollowness to it or anything. All right, let me see if I can get this together and show you guys what it looks like. All right, so there it is. It's not completely bolted together. You can see up here, I just wanted to kind of show you what it would look like. And then that guy would, the coils would be here, here, and here. These are the stands. It's much more sturdy, although nothing is buttoned up or tightened down. As you can see, these guys would go together like this and fit in that little hole right there like that and snap together. There would be spacers in here. I don't have any of the spacers in there now. Here's the new coil housing or coil body, but I'm not sure I'm going to do that. I may still see if I could hold on a second. Sorry about that. See if I could use the existing coils, but that's how it's going to look. That is sweet. It's a really simple design. I think there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 pieces or 10 pieces altogether with the ring. So there it goes. So 'tis prototyping, right? There was the second one, this guy over here. So the first one we didn't even really try because it was based on gears. This guy's still not too bad, but I think that this guy's got a much better chance of working. So the rollers that are in there are a little bit too small. They're not really making contact, but I think if I remember correctly, Spaceman, you did that on purpose because we're going to put some kind of rubber coating or rubber boot around them so that they make better contact and they're quieter. I'll probably do something like that, but you can see that there's a little bit of play in this, and there really shouldn't be any play. I'd rather actually have it loose than tight, but it's a little bit too much play. And again, this is really not buttoned down, so it may be better after the fact. Here's the new coil winding jig, which is really cool. It's a beautiful design. So this would slide here. Hold on a second. Oops, I started the video prematurely. So this would actually go, this guy would go inside here like this, right? And then this one would go, well, they don't really fit. I'm going to have to file them down. Anyway, they would go inside there. Here's the coil, wall. It would go like this. And then this would go into a spinning thing so that you can spin it like this. These would be stationary. Obviously, I would tack them into place. And then you'd be able to wind the coil. So, Sky Collection, we're taking a note from your suggestions. And instead of having the coil like this, it's going to be a pancake coil that's going to sit around this. It'll still be on this tube, but I may design something a little differently, but it's going to be a pancake coil. This is much smaller than this coil housing, so we're not too worried about it rubbing against the inside. Yeah, that's it. So the next thing I have to do is I'm printing out the last one of these, Had some problems getting them off of the bed. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. I've got about 9 million of these now because we kept making mistakes on the coil size and all that good stuff. But it is definitely, hold on, let me take this out of the stand. There we go. It's definitely a much cleaner system, and I think it's going to work great. Again, I've not given up hope on that guy. And I've got some other ideas that I've seen some other YouTubers doing, which I'm going to also work on. One of them is a tray system. So it's still it's like a half a tube. So it's cut. So the tube is cut vertically so that you have like a dish and it's a round circle and it moves an iron ball through a coil or a round magnet. And I have both, and I've always been intrigued by those. I'm curious at how much power they could produce, especially the magnet. Well, yeah, the iron ball is not going to really produce anything, maybe a little back BMF from the coil. But I ordered and received a couple of spherical magnets, and so I'm really looking forward to doing that. But I just wanted to give you guys an update because it is the weekend. All right, ciao. So I can't leave without showing something. So this is that, here, hold on. It's kind of dirty. This is that maglev that uses that really weird Hall effect sensor. I believe the sensor has a transistor built into it, or a transistor component, because instead of just having the normal 3 legs, it has 4. And this unit has no transistor to speak of, no actual NPN or let me clean this off. This is disgusting. It doesn't have any of the normal transistors that you would see on a pulse motor circuit. Anyway, this guy is really cool. And what's really cool about it, and I think it has something to do with the that weird Hall effect sensor, it's a self-starter. So if I just stop it completely and plug it into its 5-volt source, because that's all it needs is 5 volts, just starts right up. And depending on how I have it in here, it's really smooth. And the Hall effect doesn't get hot. Now, if I were to add, if I were to hook this to my power supply and give it more voltage, yeah, it'll smoke that little Hall sensor. Yeah, and it's a self-start. Oh yeah, this is the way where it's really smooth. I mean, look at that. It's absolutely quiet. Oop, now it's making a little sound. Yeah, it's flying. Let me see if I can get a tack on it. Where is my tack? Here we go. I don't know if I could get a tack on it or not. So according to that, it was about 24. No, that can't be right. So 24,000? No. 7,000. No, this is saying 24, 23. No, okay, now it's jumping. Now it's getting down. 13,000. I don't know. I need to put a piece of tape on there. The reflective tape to so it's saying 24,000 RPM. I don't know if I believe that. You guys think that's going 23,000, 24,000 RPM? I can't get the magnet itself or the carbon fiber 10,000 off on the side, 24,000. Yeah, it's consistently getting the same numbers. You guys can see that, right? Cool. Well, I couldn't leave without showing something. It's a little desktop model. It's really nice though. And do I have my other one over here? Oh yeah, here's the other one. All right, let me get the other one. This other one's a desktop model as well. Except I don't know. This guy uses a different connector. Here, let me pause and see if I can find the plug for it. Yeah, here's that other one. And it has that Stark circuit on it. But he really needs to get cleaned. It's been sitting in the dusty environment. But that has a basic Bedini circuit in it. Again, a little desktop model. Let's take this out of here so I could. It needs a little Earl. Actually, it needs a little graphite powder. It's a nice little unit. It's really clean. I think I'm going to take it apart though and use this circuit and that coil for something else. I'll be careful with it so that I can put it back together. But yeah, he's cool. Let me see if what the tack shows on this guy, if I can even do it. Yeah, that's about 2,000 RPM, 2,700, 2,500. Yeah, about 2,500 RPM. All right. So a couple of little toys to show you until I can get this beast going. All right, ciao.